Hey YouTube, petey twofinger here with a soup review. And if you're a fan of this channel, you know I do soup reviews. Every once in a blue moon, there'll be a soup review on this channel. And I'm going to do my best to. The last one I did was the Campbell's Jamaican Jerkin Chicken. And it's like 35 minutes long. I reheated that soup all day, and I was snacking on it. And I really do enjoy that video. It's not a food review. It's just me telling stories and goofing around. But I had a lot of fun making it. Augustus Gloop, our old cat, who, rest in peace, Augustus passed away, is in that video. He's a good boy. He's in that video. Kita, our new friend, he's hiding. He had a traumatic mid-afternoon because Mama left, and he bonded with Mama. So when it's just him and Daddy, oftentimes he'll kind of cry a little bit, and I'll give him some treats and try to hold him and pet him a little bit, and then he'll skedaddle and find a place to hole up and sleep for the day. So I'm here by myself. I got hungry, and so I busted out the Campbell's Chunky MAXX Black Angus beef with Yukon Gold potatoes, portobello mushrooms, and toasted barley soup. You can see in this photo here, we have the Yukon Gold potatoes, we have the Black Angus beef, and then we have the little bit of the shrooms up here, and then the spicinins. There's a pile of bath salts ready to go into the vat of MAXX. This looks like something you would find in a gym or a restaurant, in somebody's bathroom, like some kind of male, like, boost your junk, MAXX. But it's soup. Campbell's Chunky MAXX, and this has a handy peel back. You throw it, you pop the plastic lid off. It's got a lid, black plastic lid with some holes in it, splash holes. You pop that off, you peel this lid back, you pop the splash guard back on, put it in your microwave for 2.5 minutes, and then after the ding ding dinger goes off, you wait a minute or 3. And then what I did was I dumped it into another bowl. Now, really, if I was going to be a little bit paranoid, I would have dumped this into a normal glass ceramic serving dish rather than heating it up in the plastic container, because I'm sure that there's some kind of stuff leaching in there. Although it's claimed that it's safe, I'm sure 25 years 100 years from now, it'll be in some encyclopedia. Oh, they used to eat soup out of plastic, and that's why all the males got that, whatever it was, when they turned 65. So this is 290 calories, one serving size per container. It's 15.5 ounces or 440 grams. I found it was a very balanced portion. It wasn't, they call it MAXX Chunky. It didn't seem to me like it had more stuff in it than it should. It seemed to be just right. But I'm that type of person. I like my soup without a real lot of that watery stuff in there. It should have mostly stuff and then a little bit of water at the top. Now, if you've never had a beef barley soup, you think barley, ooh, isn't that what they put in beer? This is going to taste like beer. No, the barley is like, the way I would describe barley, it's almost like the consistency of the white of a hard-boiled egg. It's a little ball about the size of a BB, a little bigger, and it looks like a toasted Sugar Smacks cereal. It's a brown circle with almost like a little baked potato, like it's split open, and that barley does not. It's more of a texture thing. It doesn't really have an effect on the flavor as far as I can tell. The first time I had beef barley soup, I was really excited to have it because I thought it would have a flavor, the barley, but it didn't. Didn't really seem to impart any flavor. The golden Yukon Gold potatoes were just normal, good-sized potatoes. They were good. They were a little bit a different cut. As you can see on the wrapper, they're showing wedge-style cut. I added a significant amount of black pepper and a little bit of salt, even though it's like 90% sodium. But I tend to like to add a lot of black pepper to get that little heat at the end. Now, I will say that the black Angus beef was delicious. It was the best meat I've ever had in a soup. Usually there'll be meat and it'll be kind of spongy or it'll be real shreddy. This was a little bit on the shreddy size, like it's like steak. It's more like a pot roast where the meat is stringy. But this was good sized pieces of it. That's my complaint. I like the stuff in the soup to be more like 1/4 inch cubes. Small, like the size of the head an eraser on a pencil. Like if you have a brand new pencil and there's the eraser, that would be the largest piece of anything in the soup. The size of a pea. Maybe a little bigger. We tend to have the idea of chunky with these huge man-sized chunks. I would rather have it even and have a little bite of meat in every spoonful than 4 or 5 huge mouthfuls that I got to chew on at the end. The portobello, so that's my one complaint about it. The portobello mushrooms, obviously, going back to my last point, it's going to affect the production cost of the food if they've got to cut everything down for you. So the one way you could do that is prepare it that way. You know, if you like it that way, run the stuff through a strainer and cut it up, or cut it up as you eat it. But back to the point of the portobello mushrooms, they were about the size. There was 2 of them that were about the size of a $half, and they were over a 1/2 inch. Well, I don't want to say over, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick. They were real thick, and I'm not a huge mushroom guy. They didn't have an overwhelming mushroom flavor or some strange, ooh, what's that? It was just this kind of slimy, real chewy texture, which again, I would have much preferred and enjoyed it if they would have reduced those quite a bit. But I think they're trying to sell this as a, Max Chunky with huge stuff in it. So maybe I don't fall onto the people that they're marketing this to. So overall, again, I give it a double thumbs up. It was really delicious soup. The only reason that I have this in my belly is because it was marked down. It was a day before it hit the post for its end of code date, and it was fine. It was I was really concerned about eating it. Like, I bet something's not going to be right. One of the things in there will be a little mushy, or there'll be something funny taste. But no, it was fine. And they, along with it, like an idiot, I didn't purchase more, because there was about 8 of these in a reduced cart at the Shop and Save where we visit, and there was half of them were this Black Angus beef flavor, and the other 4 were some kind of grilled chicken taco salad with bacon, guacamole, some kind of mess. So I didn't bother with that. Again, all in all, I have to explain to you, if you're curious and you've never had a beef barley soup, if you've had a beef stew, it's similar to that. The barley doesn't really add any kind of thing. It's more of just these little balls that add texture when you're chewing up. The flavor was excellent. It's just kind of what you expect. The preparation was extra easy because it has a black plastic lid with a series of holes that you remove that lid, pop it off, and then there is a pull tab. You pull off the sealant plastic lid, discard that circular piece of plastic, and then almost like cellophane, and then you replace the splash guard black plastic lid that has the breather holes in it. You pop the entire container into the fridge, set it for 2.5 minutes, hit enter, and you go back and sit down till ding ding ding, the 2.5 minutes is up, and then you let it sit for, I let it sit for about 3 or 4 minutes to kind of stabilize that heat. It says 1 minute. I removed it, carefully removed the cover. It did steam a little bit, and I poured it into a large bowl. It's 16 ounces, so this was filling. If you could have heard the noises coming out of my gullet, it didn't sound good. I went up on my meds a little bit because I had gout, and then I had to go down on my meds. And when I do that, I end up with, how will I put it, diarrhea for about a week. So yeah, throwing down a 16-ounce MAXX Angus beef on top of the pot of whatever's going on down there, it made some noises. So I probably should wrap this up and head into the restroom and do what I need to do. Again, special thanks to Campbell's Chunky MAXX for putting an expiration date on their soups, so every once in a while I can find them in a cart for 99 cents and enjoy them. That's the only way I could afford this. And look for another Campbell soup review. Whenever I run into a can of markdown soup is when I will do that. Previously on this channel I had mentioned the Jamaican jerkin chicken soup review by Campbell's as well. And I'm very fond of that video. I've watched that a few times when I was down in the dumps to lift my spirits, because I always remembered it really enjoying that process, enjoying that day, the companionship of my dear Gusty, my good friend. So, with my belly full of black Angus beef, I'm going to sign off for you guys and tell you how much I appreciate everything. So you guys, keep your eyes peeled for some markdown Campbell's, and in the meantime, peace.